This is not gonna be the sponsored series by Mui Young. It's just gonna be a random show match just to fill in the time. Let's go, then ice. Marko against Qien. Predictions are open if you wanna predict on what's gonna happen here. But we got Qien in red, Marko in blue. Both players are gonna play Soviet. It is RA2. In terms of best of, we don't really have a BO at this stage because we're just filling in for time. Marko said he has a series in about an hour and a half, which is a complete lie. His series is at 1 PM CT, which is in about 25 minutes. So I definitely don't want to hold them for Ivor's series. Hold him, make him late for Ivor's series. So we're just gonna play until 25 minutes. So let's see what's gonna happen here. We're probably gonna have a proper show match between them pretty soon. Yep, Qien against Marko. Yeah, so this is just a filler series for now. Maybe a little taste of what's to come in the near future. But let's see here. Both players getting there all pretty quickly. First war factories are down. Marko's drawn a little bit quicker than Qien's. Nice clicking there from Qien. Marko, good sentry gun. Lucky, man. What's a Rosebud? Qien going for second drone back to home base. Marko going for second drone as well. I think both of them failed to their first drones. So they are going to go with the second one, and Marko getting droned. See if the second drone can do any trick here. Marko going with a third drone. Yeah, Muyang, this is not going to be our sponsored series because they won't have enough time. So this is just a filler series. We'll try to get a proper series between them soon, because Marko has another series in about 20 minutes. So we're gonna chill out, just fill in some time here while the series is on the way. I think Marko's playing Berg on Ivor's stream. Nice drone defense there. So 3 drones from Marko, 2 of them going in. Sorry, actually 1 of them going in. The last one didn't go in at all. Qien now have a second drone. A third drone actually. Good build from Marko from gem patch to the other. Got 4 on the board now. 4 miners on the board, sorry. Qien having 4 minus 2 on gems, 2 not on gems. Marko getting drilled once again. And this split from Marko is going to be pretty deadly there, but nice from Qien to immediately pick up on that split. And down towards the bottom, so I think I missed an engagement there, but I think Qien successfully pushes Marko away. Qien going to try and take the high ground there. Nice tank control from both. Good centering on up. That's where Marko wants to push forward, I think. And he absolutely pushes like a madman up on that cliff. And with the high ground advantage as well. Forward barracks for some fodder. And that's probably going to push Qien all the way back to his own base. But Marko doesn't want to overcommit because his miners are pretty damaged there. 2 war factories for Qien. Selling that war factory as well for Marko. So no MCV, sorry, no war factory for him. Excuse me. And I believe that also denies his goal patch. So split for bottom left for Marko here. Might be the worst time to split because that's exactly when he tries to push in. And Marko goes to the Tesla troopers. Gets eaten by the dogs. And the split onto his bottom left gets rid of that MCV. But the oil's the next target here for their refinery. The refinery is gonna end that war factory as well. The worst time for Marko to split. Is it worth it though? I don't think it is gonna be worth it. Qien's gonna burst all the way through and Marko calls GG for that first game. Down he goes. 1-0 to Qien. This series is in 20 minutes. So we're gonna play until the 20 minutes is up. And then Marko's gonna go over to Ivor's stream. Alright, Caverns is next on the random map pick. Qien pretty solid there. I think if Marko didn't split, he would have a better time. I think Qien was half lucky, half strategic in pushing in right when Marko was splitting. Marko's split onto his bottom left was a little bit delayed as well, obviously because he was dealing with that Main Rhino falls down towards the middle. But it's yet to be seen here. We're going on cabins. Marko starting on his favorite spot on top right, and he is doing his trademark corny rush down that right channel, and the first refinery goes down to his top left as well. Let's see where this gets scouted. Qien should know that Marko often does this whenever he spawns down on top right, so he needs to scout to see what's gonna happen. And this drone is gonna get rid of all the scouts if he chooses it to be double drone from Marko. Okay, so he does get scouted. Whether Qien sees it is another issue here. That drone might be the end of it. But honestly, the drones could probably take 20. There you go, 2 sentry guns up, hidden behind that oil, so he won't be able to see that well. Meanwhile, the drone from Marko, I believe, yep, still there. And Qien's drone doing some work as well. Where did that drone go? It goes into the refinery. The second drone? Question mark? So not sure what that second drone is. Let's see where it goes. So, I thought that was a drone. Qien's drone is right behind this tree here. And there's the second drone. Interestingly, he didn't go for that damage miner. That would have been a lot more damage, and I think because he didn't have the opportunity to. Going across the gold obviously would cause it to die pretty quickly. I could get a drone top left as well. Easy fix for that. And another drone for Qien, bottom right. Doing some work, actually defending against his rhino pushes. Doing some really solid work. And then drone goes back to get repaired. Meanwhile, Qien with this very nice push onto his top left gets rid of a miner. And that oil is next in target there, just out of range of that sentry gun. But now Marko blocks the rhino's pathway there to that sentry gun. Marko probably needs one more. Oh, he can't get out. Just one more sentry gun to deal with it. Meanwhile, down to his bottom right, Qien building another war factory there. Marko on 3 war factories now. Qien on 2. Forward barracks as well for some fodder. But look at this really aggressive push by Marko. He has the fodder advantage, which is why he is so confident in taking this fight. And he absolutely does push all the way through there. Qien absolutely outnumbered and outfought to do anything. So he's gonna take the remaining rhinos and spit down towards that top right hand side while he primes the main war factory back in his home base to defend. But is it gonna be enough though? Marko needs to take out a war factory or go for the miners. He's gonna go for the miners instead. Meanwhile, down on top right, Marko on the defensive once again. Qien with a split down towards the other side. And Marko does defend successfully. Does Qien defend successfully though? That is the next question. The 4 rounds are gonna dive in for the MCV, and he does take out that MCV. A pretty important building here coming in towards the mid game, and Qien doesn't want to continue forward, and that's gonna be 1-1 for Marko. Back to back to back to back to back. I think we might, depending on how long this game goes, this might be the last game. And then we'll send you all to Ivor to see that Marko versus Berg showmatch. I believe it's in Blitz. So moving on to Landmarks here, game number 3. Pretty intense game so far, which only gets me even more excited for the actual showmatch between both of them. I tried to schedule it last Friday or yesterday. Wait, no, today's Sunday. Oh no, today's Saturday. So I tried to schedule it yesterday. But Qien said he was busy, he had show matches, and then he said, never mind, I can play at this time. But at that point when he replied to me saying that he could play at this time, I was asleep, so I couldn't really get back in time because I was busy with work the next day, so opportunity missed, but it's okay. Gonna have a lot more to see pushing forward here, but Marko's gonna start on top left here on Landmark, Qien down towards the bottom right. Marko very early refining onto the gems. not doing the woody build. So obviously garrisoning the buildings, it does one of two things. Marko getting a very nice drone in. Garrisoning the buildings does one of two things here, especially on this map. One, it helps to damage any drones coming forward. Like you see Qien's drone here is damaged. Two, it just helps that extra bit of security if, let's say, you need to retreat towards a certain building. If you fill this building all the way up, you can definitely just hide behind it. Treat it as like a sentry gun of some sort. Number three, it gets rid of any scouts along the way. A ball player is getting drone there. I believe Marko went for a second drone. That was scurrying around the map here. There it is on towards bottom left, probably waiting for that MCV to come forward by Qien. But Marko's already onto that second jam patch. Just the one miner on that left jam patch, top right, obviously where the most of your miners are going to be on that bigger jam patch. Qien goes with a second drone as well. Double war here for Qien. Very nice build pushing forward. Marko with a double war as well. If you don't know what the woody build here on this map is, you'll need to track back on my YouTube channel to see what the woody build is. I believe it was in the CNC Show World Championships. But I'll talk about it later. Marko trying to push forward here. Qien, nice sentry gun coming out here. Marko targeting those rhinos, but he doesn't want to stick around whenever that sentry gun is in range. And he ducks out pretty quickly there. Okay, I am gonna let Marko go after this because I was starting to, what do you call it? Starting to promote his stream, so I'm gonna let Marko go after this. Qien skipping gems, not necessarily. The middle one, yes, but I believe he might be saving that for later, I think. Is there gonna be a later for him to save it to? I'm not too sure. But look at this build from Qien, very forward aggressive, pushing in towards Marko's area. Clearing some buildings as well, but he is quite out-tanked here. He's gonna have to be a little bit more careful here. He's gonna try to run away, but whenever you retreat in that sense, Marko's gonna come chasing after you. And chase he does. Like, imagine if that building was full. Qien does have the defense advantage here, but Marko doesn't want to engage near those war factories at all. Just to prevent those sentry guns from being an advantage for him. There you go. And those fresh rhinos coming out of the war factory as well for Qien. Might do him well, but when you're out-tanked that heavily 4-1, it's going to be pretty much irrelevant. And Marko tries to go in for those miners there, turns around. Nothing else happening around the map here. More sentry guns coming up, but Marko absolutely dominating there, and down Qien goes. Alright, score is 2-1. We're gonna continue the fucking thing.
Tech building captured.
And we're on to Montana DMZ now. So we got Qien and Marko here. Gonna continue the series after the short little intermission where Marko absolutely spanked Berg 3-0. Just the Captain Marko showing Berg how it's done, you know. Quick little 3-0. I don't know who matters, man. So we're on to Montana DMZ now. Qien's map pick predictions are up if you want to vote. So it is the RA2 best of 13, sponsored by Muyong. There you go, sponsored by Muyong for $25. Let's see how it goes here. So that first game with Thin Ice actually was pretty good showing by Qien. I think Marko was unlucky with that split. Excuse me. But the following two games are on landmarks, and especially on Divide Freeze, there was an absolute spanking by Marko. Just Marko being Marko, you know. Qien absolutely being on fire recently, though. He has been playing so many show matches, and he's been winning them as well. So we'll see how he will do against the true incident number 1. Not looking at you, Legend. I'm so sorry. I'm not sorry. But we'll see how this goes. There Montana DMZ, Qien down towards the bottom left hand side. Nice drone coming in onto his miner though from Marko. Sentry gun up immediately going down here. Quick repair on that drone from Marko. So 3 miners and gems now for Qien and 3 for Marko. Good little doggy doing its work. So the Petrop's still alive. That power can definitely be a nice target here for Marko, but good dog to deny that. Marko does have second drone ready. And to no avail, that second drone does go down pretty quickly. Second wall here, Qien probably gonna go for a second wall down here as well. Or gonna go below here. Where is it gonna go? Where is it gonna go? There it goes. It's gonna go up there towards that third ore patch. So obviously, whenever you're spawning down towards bottom left and top right, this bottom left, bottom right area, sorry, it's an absolutely crucial area that you wanna get map control over, which is why you see both players actually putting a para drop, sorry, down in that area. So got a third wall from Marko here, gonna get another refinery up pretty soon. Third wall for Qien as well, but this control down towards bottom right, similar to Heck. Whenever you play a 2v2 on Heck, down towards that bottom left area is a very crucial area that you want to get control of, because it opens up so many avenues for you to split across and to engage in different angles as well. Similar down to this bottom right, if you can control this area, you can push your opponent back all the way towards the other side. So if Qien can get a hold of this area, he'll push Marko back to his own base. If Marko can get a hold of this area, he'll push Qien across the river to the other side. I think the same thing could probably be said for the top side, but I think bottom side is where it's at, because right side player usually often builds down, left side player builds up top. So and the right side is a lot easier to build down, as we see here for Marko. A lot easier to build all the way down here. Looks like Marko moved his MTV towards the other side of the road there. But Marko does get map control down towards the bottom right. Paradrop moving in across the river here. Let's see how he does in this engagement. Along the trees as well, notoriously hard to control their tanks, but Marko very ambitious here. But Qien heavily out-tanks him. And down Marko goes. Marko on the retreat now. Does he have enough eco to keep this up? Nope, he does not, and he admits defeat straight away, and that's gonna be 2-2. Straight up 2-2, boys. GG. Okay, so game number 5. Bam. It's gonna be a naval war. So if you're unfamiliar with the naval war, it's basically what they do on Rambo play. Basically, there's no air units, no rocketeers, sorry. And obviously if you pick Korea, you do get the jets, and there's no super weapons, so you won't get any rocketeers. And I believe there is no no tanks like the Grizzlies. Can't be a Grizzlies or Mirages or anything of that sort. So basically what you have on Rambo play, so this is gonna be pretty interesting here. Both players obviously do play on Rambo play. I believe Qien has been grinding on Rambo play, so Marko definitely up to that challenge. Let's see what happens here on depth charge. IV's only, okay, yeah, there you go. So IV's only on Naval War. So obviously there's no Black Hawks, so Black Hawks, sorry. Nighthawks, yes, Nighthawks, not Nightcocks, Nighthawks, sorry. Sorry, my head is just full of cock at the moment. No Nighthawks, so you're gonna go with amphibious transports. Black what? Yeah, this is a tactic that's often seen, and Marko will probably send one dog towards along the top here. But obviously because this is TNT net, so no doggy is on. Players are gonna get their oils, respectfully. This is Naval War, yes. Destroyers are out first. Ooh, look at that from Qien. He made 4 engineers instead of 3. And that last circular engineer goes back into the transport and goes towards the other oil. Now Marko has no fight for this oil. Look at Qien just absolutely bunkering down with those build altars. 4 of them. Can we get a 5th? Can we get a 5th here? And they're gonna take the build altar. Oh, the oil goes down so fucking quickly with that. Holy fucking shit. Down they go. So Marko down to 1 singular oil too, if you count around on the back. Marko using this opportunity to expand onto his top right. Yeah, I think Marko had to expand pretty quickly that to his upright because he saw the situation going on here. So he needed to get that the gem boost onto his upright as quickly as he can, and he needs to stop this from expanding. Looks like he does not get the opportunity to stop Qien from expanding out to the bottom left, but he can still deny the miners from getting in, from getting any gems or to his bottom left. Still that one Naval War from both. Oh, and Qien goes to recapture the other. And now Qien absolutely in major stonks mode with 5 oils. And Marko only has the one teeny little weeny little oil. And now Qien, expanding down to his bottom left, is going to get the gems pretty quickly here. 10k in the back, Marko with 3. Things are not looking good for Marko on this end. He accepted the challenge of a naval war and Qien absolutely brought it to him. Says, come the fuck on, Qien said number 1. I will show you the prodigal pleb, the prodigal child, the prodigal octo kid here, as Ivor usually calls him. So the destroyers are definitely gonna go towards the miners down towards the bottom left here. See whether they can kill some gems as well, like Valve said in chat, but I don't think he's gonna do that. The choke point on the left side. Now we see the jets coming out here. We got 2 jets, so 2 AFCs coming out for Marko. 1 miner goes down. A little bit too late now for Marko to be engaging on those miners. He's gonna have to fight against those destroyers now, which he is heavily out-destroyed by. I don't think Marko has enough here. Even with the reinforcements coming in 1 by 1. So the jets as well are countered by the IFVs from Qien. Looks like I'm incorrect. I stand incorrected there. Looks like Qien is going to be the first one to retreat. Marko absolutely holding to his guts there. Marko now getting some economic issues. Takes out 1 AFC here. I think the main purpose of building 3 AFCs as well. He might only be using just 4 Eagles or 5. Having the extra AFC means that if one of the AFCs dies, the Eagles won't immediately die. They will probably survive because there's another 4 extra landing spots there for them to move on to. But yeah, even though Marko did win that engagement bottom left, did force some minus. He's definitely still on the low end here as he's targeting the miners. So what the destroyers are right there. Destroyers will of course target the miners because they have a higher value there. Oh no, Marko finally realizing what's happening here. He's gonna back off with the destroyers. And Eco not looking good for him once again. He keeps sniping these AFCs though, which is pretty nice, but once he loses that destroyer fight, it's all over. He's gonna stick to his guns though. Is this gonna play out like that first engagement down towards bottom left? It doesn't look like it. The Eagles are now on the way. Gonna target that MCV for sure. Marko knowing not to take the bait. Down goes the MCV. You saw Marko there wait for the MCV to be undeployed and then goes for it. Now if Marko can start the AFC, that would mean no more Eagles for Qien. But the destroyers can definitely reach that AFC. 1 AFC goes down with 4 Eagles on it. The next AFC with another 2 Eagles definitely gonna go down here. Marko slowly rebuilding destroyers on the back. Eagles are going down here, so only 4 Eagles left for Marko. Did not get the refinery out, and that Patriot missiles, they saw 1 Eagle. So Marko rebuilds their Qien ulting. He ulted with that last Eagle down to the top right. Was that EFC obviously went down, but the destroyer wars are here still going at it. Qien still the high number of destroyers. He could use the Eagles to take out some of the destroyers here, Marko. Not sure why he's not doing that. The destroyers definitely need a little bit of help here. But going through that choke point is definitely not going to be an easy task here. Looks like the refinery still lives. Marko's still not giving up without a fight, but those destroyers are slowly going down. And the final two. And the last destroyer does go down, but can they reach? I don't think they can reach at all. So all he has left are these eagles, which is very unlikely to do any sort of damage with those IFVs there from Qien. That's surely the end for Marko here. He could have altered the war, yeah, he definitely could have. Very good, that's GG. Qien taking the lead for the first time, 3-2. Yep, I believe it's gonna be in January. Markov does Woody, and Woody goes Germany only. Okay, game number 6. And we're now in stormy weather. I did get a standing desk. I got a new desk like a while ago. It arrived like maybe 5 days ago, and I haven't had the time to set it up because I'm too fucking busy with work. I might just, you know, the time is, it's currently 3:30 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning. I might just stay up and try to get the desk set up. Yeah, guy, I'm waiting for that. Is it gonna be a Rambo or Tincina? That's I forgot which platform it's gonna be on. Did Path quit playing? I believe so, yes. Path is not playing on Rambo. He doesn't play on Tincina anymore. I don't know. I don't know where Path is. We playing on Rambo today? Yeah. Path playing on Rambo. I don't think he plays in Cincinnati. He's brother by Path 3.0, yep. So Marko getting a drone into Qien's miner there. Yeah, this is a difference in build that we're probably... Qien's build is probably a lot more traditional than what we usually see. 2 miners, 2 refineries down towards the bottom. And then your miner coming with a war factory will be by the main base. Marko going a little bit different here. I believe he sent 1 miner from here down towards the bottom. But Qien pushing up really quickly here down to his top right. Miners are definitely in trouble. Marko's wants to get some sentry guns up, but he's a little bit broke. He's gonna send some rhinos there, but is Qien gonna get anything there? He does not. Instead, he might just lose all of his tanks there. No, Wing Chun is Dave. Wing is Dave. And on Discord. The guy that got timed out so many fucking times. Fucking behave yourself, Dave. Right, so Qien tried to push down to its top right, or up to its top right there, to no avail. Good defense from Marko. He's gonna now move towards the middle here, let that oil go down. Marko is not gonna contest it at all. Instead, he goes for the IC pretty quickly, and he splits down towards the bottom left himself. Qien only up to a radar tech at this point, no lab out yet. I just split down towards the middle here. Looks like Marko's gonna engage down towards the middle too. Absolute rampage there down towards the middle, and he engages down towards the bottom left because there's a singular rhinos. Well, Marko has a group of 3, so he could easily take out these 2 miners next. Qien's gonna hide behind those sentry guns. That's a good idea. Marko's gonna reinforce down towards the middle. 1 miner definitely going down, and it does go down here. Marko, clear opportunity to kill this oil. I think he's gonna do that next. There you go. Why is it the sentry gun behind the tree? And down goes the oil. So finally, Qien gets his IC up. About 2 minutes later than Marko did. Marko started spinning down towards the other side of the small little river here. Let's push from Marko down towards the bottom left. Yeah, Qien just tried something down on from top right there with that push, but didn't really work out. And that engagement down towards the middle Similar to what we saw on Thin Ice where Marko just unlucky timing of that split. Might be the same thing happened there for Qien. He decided to split onto his bottom left, and at the same time Marko decided to push through. Look at this from Marko. Oh, the bridge just about collapsed, but he pops the IC. He pops the IC just in time, and another bridge collapses as well. Unlucky there from Marko, but will the IC pay off though? He snipes a couple of rhinos, but that's about it. That's all that he can do. Qien, looks like the plan of attack did work out here, killing that bridge, but a Kirov is incoming. Where will Qien go here? IC is ready for Qien as well. Killing that bridge does one of two things. It does delay Marko's IC, but the IC did go off anyway. And two, it delays his own IC. He's gonna have to go around if he wants to get any sort of damage done here. Bottom left, he is gonna start to push forward, but the IC is being popped to his longer top here in terms of defense and to defend against that Kirov as well from Marko. There's 5 rhinos running along the field here. Bottom split does go down, but Qien admits defeat. He calls GG. Bridges are much better than Marko. And we're all tied up 3-3 once again in this best of 13. Quick fire maps here. You won't see any egos or delayed matches by 10 minutes. As we move on to the next one here. So game number 7. Boom, we're moving on pretty quickly here in the best of 13. We're on North Waves. This is going to be Qien's map pick. I cannot reiterate my hatred for this map. Every time I see it. It is so horrible. So horrible. I am sorry to whoever the map maker is, but some people like this map, some people don't like this map. I personally don't like this map simply because it's a little bit too narrow. Exactly, it's one of those maps that's old and won't go away unless we have a good replacement for it, right? What's another map that's old and won't go away? Snow Valley. I know, personally I don't like this map because of how narrow it is. There's not much space for tank control, but because of how narrow it is, that's why some of the games that actually come out from this map are actually pretty decent. Hey, it's Rick. Because of how narrow it is, players can absolutely abuse it to the core. Like, I can imagine Latov abusing this map pretty well, but I haven't seen Latov actually play on this map. This would be a fucking great Latov map, wouldn't it? 1, the Desos would absolutely abuse them. 2, narrow spaces and cliff sides. Those kind of maps is where Latov absolutely rips ass. That was a very long pause between rips and ass, but it's like you've seen on Yin Yang how Latov abuse the cliff sides and just goes back and forth between them, and eventually causing his opponent's time to just go in a straight conga, and then Latov just cut through right towards the middle. This could definitely be the same thing as well. And if he abuses the, like for example on this left side, he goes back and forth here and here and here and here. And then he just cuts through the middle and dry heat as well, exactly. I think if Latov probably get this in one of his map pool, probably work out pretty well. But we all know Latov likes to stick to his personal map pool there. Maps like dry heat, maps like path of travel, maps like yin yang, maps like landmarks. You know, those kind of very old maps and everything. Let's see here, Marko, 2 more factories. It's spending down towards the top. Qien's gonna push it down towards the top side here. Nice micro from Marko. Pulling away that miner. If it didn't pull away that miner would have died straight up. I'm telling you right now. It's in yellow health, 4 rhinos immediately down to red health. And probably 0 as well. Marko looking to go back towards the other side. Qien's gonna do the same as well. Yeah, I agree, man. This drone. And because Latov's miner control isn't the greatest, so maybe that might be one of the factors that he doesn't have this map on this map. Really effective drone there from Marko, from Qien, sorry. Marko trying to spit down towards the top here. Qien finding him a block of blue rhinos.
Player defeated.
Oh, and Qien doesn't even say a GG, immediately quits out. It's gonna be 4-3 now to Marko. I imagine if this was the crew battle. Oh, we're not loading? Okay, we're not loading. Let me get a drink. Oh, yeah. Alright, Portuguese. Qien down towards the bottom left, Marko top right. Yeah, Gene, I saw that as well. But Twitch does this weird thing where if you reply to a thread and then someone else replies to you, it links to the original thread instead of whoever replied to you in the first place. It's dumb. It's really dumb. Alright, so past couple of games, it's been a little bit iffy for Qien. He had a great performance on the Naval War map on depth charge, but after that it's been pretty much downhill from him, not gonna lie. Small little mistakes here and there just caused him to be out-tanked and Marko just being absolutely able to roll him across the entire map. Let's see what the Portuguese can do anyway. Something different here. The thing from Qien is that he needs to find the guy can play. I mean, he's a fucking prodigal kid. I cannot say that word correctly. Prodigal kid. He can absolutely play to his heart's content. It's just the mentality from him that's very, very, I wouldn't say weak, but very inconsistent per se. On some days he can absolutely play like he's playing for the World Cup and just win it. Win after win after win after win, and some other times he just breaks down mentally, and that might be a factor considering his age, being quite young, or that might just be how he is in general mentally. We all know that some players more often than not tilts more than others, and we all know people like to abuse it whenever they can. But in this case, I think another factor is that he is gonna go up against Marko. Just the second best player in the world, maybe the third best player in the world, you know. Outside of China, the absolutely best player in the world. So it's not an easy task, and some players absolutely crumble under the pressure. We've seen Tim actually do that quite a bit. Tim did mention that one of his. Ooh, hold on here. There's engagement. Oh boy. Just like that, Qien could have just waited for some reinforcements and then push in to engage, but he chose to engage right then and there. Took the bait from Marko. Excuse me. And absolutely just wrecked him there. Oh gosh. Sorry, back to my point. Tim Collective actually did mention that playing against Marko is the one thing he hates to do because it makes him nervous. Marko killing some gems there. Qien could actually use probably 1 or 2 sentry guns. He does have the eco for it. He's gonna go on and engage this singular rhinos here. Nice Marko to pull away from the damaged rhino. Goes down the drone as well. That's what I'm talking about. Good defense there from Qien. In the meantime, Marko on triple wall. He's gonna push forward Marko onto the middle gem patch along the top here. Well, double wall for Marko. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minus for Qien. Marko 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 minus for Marko. About to be a 7th. Finally, Qien getting some more minus on the gems. It's gonna boost his eco quite well. And he goes for a mid-game drone, sorry. Mid-game drone, probably gonna go down towards that bottom right minor. If he can play this out well, he might be able to push in and engage while that miner is getting droned. That'll probably allow him to get a miner snipe, but not with that service depot there. So that option is completely out the window. It's a good expansion from Qien. He has survived this long after that good defense along the early start of the game. Getting another refinery up close. And Qien's gonna micro the last 2 miners to the other ore patch. It is poltergeist, so you're gonna have pretty limited funds here. Marko still has 1.5 gem patches left, gold patches left. Qien has that one small one down towards the bottom. Look at this tank from Qien. He sends in the dogs and then goes into engage. He's clicking those tanks. Marko attacking him once again. But I saw that Marko wasn't actually clicking tanks. His rhinos were more focused on the dogs instead. Trypophobia, if anyone of you has it, looking at the ground there. Nothing else happening around the map here, but Qien still getting snipe after snipe after snipe. Marko forces out the MCV. Qien gonna push forward all the way here. No MCV means no sentry gun. But the forward barracks here will help Marko in terms of fodder. But Qien replies with a Deso from that radar. It's gonna come up pretty soon here. But he doesn't need to engage here while he waits for that Deso. The Deso is now here. But the Deso doesn't get deployed in the correct place there. MCV gets sold for Qien as he goes in for the counter. But Marko goes in once again. The Deso needs to be pushed up a little bit further up, just so that whenever Marko retreats, he would get desolated here. But both players are still going at it with the rhino count, and the numbers go towards Qien. And Qien does win that fight with the Deso there. GG. What a play from Qien. What a comeback as well. Qien ties it back up 4-4 on a poltergeist. Alright, let's go Lake to Blitzen. Oh, okay. Alright, we're seeing a difference in build here almost immediately on Lake Blitzen. Qien going the traditional route of moving the MCV. Marko not choosing to move his MCV. That only tells me that he is going to go a quick naval yard here. And he's probably going to move the MCV when he gets the naval yard up to the jam patch down towards the bottom side here. But this is pretty interesting. Okay, refinery's going to long distance. Probably going to go for the naval yard first and then move the MCV. While he's walking his dogs all the way across towards the other side of the map. 3 engineers ready for 3 tech to be captured. We've seen also Marko go for one of the techs in the far other side. Far other side, yes, that's English for you. There's probably a way we can put them manually. It's just that we don't have the time to do that for it, honestly. And I believe in putting a game manually, it takes quite a bit of time. It's a bit hard to manage as well, but maybe I'm not too sure. But maybe we can implement that in the future. Yep, there you go. Nice surgical from Marko. There's the straight engineer for the other side. We could probably do a form or something on the. Oh, there you go. There's another straight engineer from Qien. Captures a paradrop on the other side. We could probably do a form on the internet website or something that they can submit if they wanna. Nice recapture. If they want to make a Showmatch can count as a ladder, it'll probably have to be backed up by proof as well. If the Showmatch isn't streamed, then we probably can't take it in as proof. So Marko nice build. Turns out he didn't move his MCV after all. He's just building all the way down towards the bottom. Yep, can definitely do that. Probably put it on our to-do list. We have a fuck ton of shit to do, man. Honestly, over in the CNC Net Discord as well, we have a fuck ton of shit that we're currently in the plans about, and we'll look to add that one on our to-do list as well. So Qien gotta kill that bridge, I think, or have the opportunity to. Instead, he's gonna go across and catch Marko off guard. You can see the thought process of Qien there. I'm gonna kill this bridge. Actually, no, I'm gonna go engage. Very, very nice from Qien. Marko, on the other hand, gets the oil from Qien now towards bottom left. Qien going for a lab and does have the IC up. Marko only just got his IC up a couple seconds away there, about half a minute away. But Qien now with 2 oils. Sorry, Marko now with 2 oils, Qien with none. Qien with just the 2 in the middle. Marko now with 4 oils, sorry. Right down towards the middle, immediately gets obliterated by the sentry guns. Marko now will probably need to move his MCB down towards the bottom left. While Qien getting rid of the oil down towards the top right. It's gonna have to pull this minus all the way towards the right hand side, which will probably deplete that oil bunch a little very, very quickly. Yeah, so he's gonna have to move his MCV down towards the bottom left either way. And Qien selling his MCV by mistake once again. Qien's been doing that a lot. In QM as well, he accidentally sold his war factory by mistake, and Lata was very kind enough to agree to a wash. But I'm not gonna allow that. Not gonna allow a re for that. But the IC does go off here for Qien. Because it's gonna get quite a bit of tank damage there, but the fodder does play its part. And now Marko can counter with that IC. That's gonna be a pretty devastating one. And that's actually going to take out all of Qien's tanks there. Meanwhile, Marko goes to retake the oil that Qien just retook on the left side. And he builds another refinery down towards the bottom left. And yep, Qien's going to call GG. Yeah, I'm not going to take that re, because if you make a mistake, you got to own it. Just, you know, fucking go on with it. Alright, 5-4. Alright, game number... Yeah, sounds I don't know how, I don't know what's 10 in Mandarin, I'm sorry. Game number 10. Game number 10. Sorry, I legitimately looked down at my fingers and counted 1 to 8, and I was like, I don't know what comes after 8. So, I'm sorry my Mandarin classes did fail. But we're on game number 10. Or game 10. In the Malay language. Yeah, we're on cellular. Yes, we're on cellular. Cellular's a great map. I think cellular works best in the 2v2 situation, but you know what we want? It'll work. It'll work. Actually, I kind of like it if cellular was kind of a top versus top or bottom versus bottom. That'll be a much better matchup. Because if we have a top versus, you know, corners, it's okay, but if you have a top versus top, I mean, players are gonna have to push mid, and they're gonna have to build towards the middle, so that just promotes screams engagements, you know, and calls for a lot more action than usual. Just why I kind of like it, but it's okay. We're gonna go on for corners here. But yeah, that Lake Blitzen game, Qien making a critical error and selling his MCV by mistake. DPI a little bit too high there for him. Drone is damaged there for Qien. But yeah, those kind of mistakes are the mistakes that you gotta own and just push on with it. The more you make the mistakes, the more you will stop making those mistakes. But Qien does... It's pretty erratic. I don't know if any of you have seen Qien on his streams playing QM or Rambo. He is all over the fucking place. His gameplay literally looks like this. It's just like one side to one side. He's able to process information really fucking quickly. Like this is his gameplay pretty much, and it gets pretty nauseating. That's your man looking at all angles. You can never get true. I bet the FFG stream that he's doing now, half of it is going to be looking at eagles. and the lobby is gonna have to wait for like hours before we can get the next game going. But we've got a pretty good build here by Marko. Qien a little bit lacking behind that build. He's choosing to go for the other gold patch before going for the jam patch down towards the middle. Marko gets the jam patch first before going towards the other gold patch. Oh, is it already ongoing? Are the eagles already there? Fucking Christ. Yep, look at this from Marko going towards the other gem patch as well. Qien a little bit lacking behind on the builds, but 3678 minus for Qien, 48 minus for Marko as well, and Qien's gonna be the aggressive one here. Nope, they're even. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sorry, now there's 9. 4, 9. Yep. 10. Yeah, 10. Yeah. Marko has plus 1 of a minor there. Nice spin from Qien along the top left there. Unfortunately, does get sniffed up by Marko pretty early. Yeah, Qien has been really aggressive in this playthrough so far. I mean, Marko isn't really the type to be sort of aggressive in his gameplay. He likes to sit for a while and then engages and splits here and there. But Qien likes to be aggressive, especially early on. He does it really well in 2v2 as well. We'll see whether the aggressiveness here works out for him. Marko just getting in a little bit of a pinch there, but Qien's gonna be the first one to retreat. Nice War Factory strike down towards the bottom there. 5 walls for Qien, 5 walls for Marko. And Qien again gonna be really aggressive and pushing forward here, but he's out-tanked. He is absolutely out-tanked. I'm not sure what the reason for that engagement would be. If he was maybe ahead by 2 or 3 times and I had a bit more fodder, I would understand, but that engagement there was pure suicide. But luckily for him, Marko pulled out as well in that engagement. Yeah, he might have. It's alright. Qien tossing it. He might be just playing one hand here and absolute tossing with the other hand. But look at Marko here, late game drone into Qien's miner. Qien sees it. Is he gonna send the miner back? Yep, he is gonna send that miner back to the service depot. But Marko slowly getting stronger and bigger and stronger and bigger. And Qien's gonna have a really hard time in a couple minutes here. But he's trying another split here. Marko sees it. Primes the War Factory again, doesn't really commit much to it. But Qien goes there and gets the rhinos. He needs to go to the other side here and get that MCV out of the way. In the meantime, Marko pushing in with his main force down towards Qien's base. Qien absolutely out-tanked here. Not really sure what he can do. He has the drones, but the drones aren't pushing in. The wrong War Factory is primed. Now the drone's going, but a little bit too late. Now the War Factory should have been primed. And Marko did some trash talking there. Are you splitting? Is that all of your tank? Says Marko. And Qien says yes, that is all. And down Qien goes. 6-4 now to Marko. It's gonna be a match point. Classic. Yes, root RA2. Coming from Gene RA2. Yes, root RA2. I absolutely agree, says Gene RA2. And then comes in Legend 99. Alright, we're on Dawn of Peril here. Match point for Marko. And I don't know if you caught the chat there earlier on, but looks like Qien has been mentally defeated. And again, it's coming back to the point once again, right, that I mentioned on earlier. Qien's downfall is his mentality. The mentality of Qien right now is his biggest flaw and his biggest weakness. Mentality in a sense of not necessarily tilting or anything, but rather feeling mentally defeated. He has a bad game and it affects him throughout the entire series, when really he should be looking forward to the next game. Look at his body block from Marko though. You should be looking forward to the next game and, you know, keep pushing on forward, learning from your mistakes, doing a lot better than what you did last time. And that's generally not, it's not giving a fuck about how you play, man. It's the mentality of it is what it is, whatever happens happens. You gotta move on to the next game and absolutely find your drive and your mentality and keep that, you know, keep that mentality thinking forward and not necessarily over worrying about how you're playing or this and that. What? Oh. It's the one thing that Qien has to work on. I've seen players like go 20-0, yeah, like Josh said, you know, go 20-0, but still plays on forward and still has a pretty strong mentality. Latov is a great example for this. The guy can lose 5 matches in a row, but still have a really good mentality and absolutely turn it up the next game. Because it's a great mentality of it is what it is. You just gotta keep pushing forward and keep your head up, you know, keep thinking and just push forward. You don't want to over worry about whatever you're doing. And Qien is showing signs of over worrying and being mentally defeated. So I think that's probably a thing that he could work on. Obviously he is still quite young, so mentality is something that comes with age. Look at Qien as well, just BMing, killing the gem straight up. He's gonna try and engage the rhinos as well. Nice shot there. Very nice from Qien. Marko hasn't really pushed up yet. Marko now going probably a couple extra minors here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 minors for Marko. Qien just 7. 6 actually. Excuse me. Yeah, Necrons. I don't necessarily know about that, but having a lot of yes men around you doesn't work as well. Like Marko doesn't have yes men. I don't think Marko has a clique or like any people that he often plays around with. Like I don't know whether Qien has one as well, but you know, because Qien is young, people might be telling him, oh, you can definitely be top 1 if you just work hard and everything. So maybe that sort of overconfidence, I don't know, maybe comes into play as well. Both players are reaching down towards the middle and not talking about mentality. We're gonna move on to the actual game here where Qien is absolutely pushing forward here. Cedric coming off for Marko, but it's Qien clicking those rhinos. We all know how good Marko is at holding. But we also know how good Qien is at pushing and being aggressive, but Marko seems to be the one countering at this stage. A well-timed sentry gun there and the Fort Bearers with the Desos about to come out pretty soon. Definitely gonna come out here pretty soon for Marko. He's really moving on to that next gem patch and the Deso is out. First Desos are out here. I think slowly zone out Qien here. Nice sentry gun to counter a 1 Deso. But Marko currently ahead after that engagement. Qien just maybe not committing a few more rhinos to that fight. And probably good anticipating where the sentry guns would be as well. Marko nice tank control here pushing along that side. Qien desperately trying to get some sentry guns up. Now Qien has some Desos. And the Desos could definitely help him here in this sense. Deploy them! Marko's rhinos are damaged, so those Desos can do absolutely everything right now. The boss is here, back to work. Alright, bye Josh. Don't get fired. Yeah, Qien was ahead in a sense. He was ahead in rhinos. He was behind on miners, but now he has to do the opposite and get a couple miners from the War Factory just to keep up with Marko. Nice spin on the right side. Doesn't get one miner, unfortunately, because just a couple of deserts there. But after that engagement, that first engagement there, Marko really good at holding once again. Well-timed sentry guns, good micro with the rhinos as well. Qien wasn't necessarily clicking the rhinos early on. The rhinos were going back and forth between the sentry guns and the rhinos. And now Marko can just push all the way forward here. Heavily out-tanking Qien there. And with the deaths as well. GG's is being called, and there you go. Final score is 7-4. Marko dominates once again and wins the $25. GG.